my beloved child. I know there is something stirring deep within you, a quiet unrest, an unease that has no name. It is not something reason can explain, yet it is strong enough to make your soul tremble through sleepless nights. Perhaps you have brushed it aside, tried to rationalize it, or reassured yourself that it was merely fatigue, pressure, or a fleeting emotion. But I speak to you now. Listen to the silent cry rising from your soul. There are things the eyes cannot see, but your spirit has already sensed them long ago. And now is the time for you to face the truth. The house in which you dwell is no longer a safe haven for your soul. There is something lingering in its shadows. Not a sound, not a person, but a presence. A reality you've never noticed, yet it has always been there, silent, watchful, lurking like a persistent shadow that clings to the spiritual corners of your home. You have slept amidst invisible whispers, breathed in air that seemed harmless, yet carried a heaviness without name. You feel weary without cause, sadness creeps into your heart uninvited, and vague anxieties cloud your mind like a thick fog. None of it is by chance. Something that does not belong to the light has hidden itself there, waiting for your moment of weakness, to sow fear and block the peaceful flow I have prepared for you. That place was once a resting stop I permitted for a time, but now it is no longer a space of grace. Your prayers still rise, but no longer resonate fully as they once did. Your sleep is no longer sweet, for something has intruded and tainted the sacred atmosphere. It does not make noise, but its presence is thick, like an invisible poisonous smoke seeping through every crack and crevice. It is there, uninvited, unwelcomed, yet clinging, as if seeking a foothold in your world. You have done nothing wrong, but you have not been watchful. You opened the door to weariness, to small compromises with the dark, and in what seemed like harmless surrender, you unknowingly let in something that does not belong to me. It did not enter with a knock, but with the slow slipping of your faith. With each delayed prayer, each moment you said, "Just a little is fine." But my child, even the smallest gap is enough for the night to flood in. And now, I call you to look again. Let my light shine into every hidden corner of your dwelling. Your bedroom, the paths you walk daily, and above all, into your heart. There are things you may see as lifeless objects, yet they hold an unclean energy. There are memories, mementos, or even unnoticed habits that darkness has used as open doors. I do not say this to frighten you, but to set you free. I do not judge you, but I cannot let you remain there any longer. For I know that delay can corrode even the strongest of spirits. You must leave, not only with your feet, but with your whole heart. You must release everything, even the smallest attachment linked to the darkness, and consecrate your space fully to the perfect light of mine. I am calling you to step out of that worn-out space, not merely a physical house, but the mental stronghold you've settled into, the illusion of safety you believed could shield you from the spiritual battle. No, you were not chosen to hide. You were called to rise. Your dwelling place must become a holy fortress, a sanctuary where my presence is unmistakably known, undiluted by compromise. And for that to happen, you must cleanse not only the physical structure, but also the ties you keep, the thoughts you entertain, and the quiet agreements you've made in secret. Let me enter with you. Let me take your hand and walk with you through every room, through every object, through every emotion. Let your prayers be like living water, poured out to wash away every trace of strange presence. You are not alone. I am here, ready to move. But I require your cooperation. You must say yes. You must consent for me to free you from the cocoon the enemy has tried to weave around you, through silence, through the familiar. Do not underestimate the danger of what remains hidden. It is the concealed things that are the most perilous, for they can bind you without chains. Can you feel it? The gentle wind beginning to stir in your spirit. That is me, calling you to stand. It is time to move. It is time to step out of the old place and into the space I have prepared for you. A realm where my presence burns like an unquenchable flame, where nothing remains hidden and every corner is lit with truth and love. You will feel freedom when you enter. Your lungs will expand with breath. You will sleep in peace. You will walk without the sense of being watched. My beloved child, this transition is not an end, it is a beginning. This is the changing of the season in your life, and for the new to begin, you must release the old. I am calling you out of deception, out of imagined safety, out of the cocoon that has been slowly suffocating your soul. I am calling you into the place where my presence is a light that never fades, where you will not merely survive but truly live. Live abundantly, as I have always intended for you. It has waited in the shadows, silent and persistent, like a shadow clinging to your every step. It made no sound, drew no attention, but it was always there, lurking, breathing in sync with you, watching through unseen eyes. It did not barge in with fury. It did not scream or shatter doors. It chose instead to wait patiently, concealed beneath the mask of normalcy. In the things you deemed harmless, it hid behind thoughts that appeared innocent, behaviors you believed were insignificant. In those quiet moments when you gave in, promising you would return later to holiness. Its strength was not in physical power, but in cunning, calculated stillness. It knew when your heart grew weary. It sensed when your faith began to waver. And in those moments, it tightened its grip, pressed deeper into the spiritual soil of your inner being. It convinced you everything was still fine, that you were still close enough to the light, still holy enough not to be concerned. And with those sweet lies, it slowly took up space that was meant for me alone. It sowed confusion, doubt, and spiritual fatigue into your mind, making you question even the promises I have spoken. But now, my beloved one, I am no longer silent. I cannot allow you to continue in this fog. I am coming, not as a whisper in the breeze, but as a bolt of lightning tearing through the night, as fire from heaven illuminating every crevice where darkness has claimed ground. I am peeling back the layers of disguise that have been cloaked for far too long. I am bringing truth into the light. Everything that has been hidden, every scheme of darkness once thought to be flawlessly orchestrated will now have nowhere left to hide. My light is not only here to illuminate your path, but also to expose all the silent manipulations that have influenced your life without your awareness. The invisible cords that once bound you will be unveiled. Every trap disguised as safety will be dismantled. Negative emotions, stolen dreams, lies masked as truth, all will have to stand before the judgment of holy light. You can feel this stirring within your soul. Something is moving inside you. A subtle yet powerful shaking, as if your spirit is awakening from a long slumber. It is I who am awakening you. I am calling forth the deepest part of your spirit so that you may recognize it is time to face the truth. It is time for you to stop closing your eyes to what has long been out of alignment. You have sensed for a long time that something wasn't right, but you tried to dismiss it, tried to believe it was just a fleeting emotion. But no, it was a gentle warning, a sacred alarm I had been sending to you all along. And today I confirm this to you. There has been a force operating in the shadows of your life. It has manipulated, it has drained your joy, it has stolen your peace, and it has muddied the wellspring of life within you. But you no longer have to fight alone, for I myself am now stepping in. I am standing on your behalf, breaking open the doors the enemy locked, tearing down the barriers it built in your mind and emotion. I am using my eternal power to shatter every illusion, so that truth may rise in the center square of your spirit and declare, I have seen, I have known, and I have come to set you free. You will see what you once feared to confront. You will recognize toxic relationships that you once mistook as normal. You will sense the darkness hiding behind choices you believed were harmless. You will understand why certain doors in your life always remained shut, why dreams were never fulfilled, why nameless fears clung to you even as you tried to walk in faith. Because I am clarifying everything. No more blending of light and shadow, of truth and falsehood, of life and decay. This is the time of unveiling, not to shame you, but to set you free. I do not expose what is hidden to hurt you, but to heal you at the root. Just as a physician must cut the skin to release the infection, I am excising what has silently infected your soul. I love you too much to leave you living in a world of sweetened deceit. My love is strong enough to tear down every disguise, patient enough to lead you out of the labyrinth of lies, and powerful enough to restore all that was stolen. And I say this to you today, keep your heart wide open. Let your spirit become a field where my light can shine into every corner. Do not fear when I begin to reveal what must be released, what must be torn down, for though it may hurt, it is the doorway to true freedom. Receive my revelation as a sacred gift, for no one can bring to light what is hidden unless I, the one who sees into the depths of your heart, choose to draw the truth out of the shadows. There are moments, in the stillness of night, when you are completely alone, that you sense, vaguely but undeniably, a gaze watching your every movement. You cannot explain it with logic, yet it unsettles you. A nameless feeling creeps in like cold mist soaking into your flesh, making your heart race. As though your soul is trying to warn you of something your mind has yet to understand, when a strange wind brushes past, when a hazy figure flickers in your thoughts, when fragmented sounds emerge from nowhere. You often try to convince yourself it's all imagination, that maybe you're just tired, your mind overworked, or perhaps it's just your subconscious playing tricks on you. But, my beloved child, no, it is not a coincidence. It is not the product of a vague imagination. These are signals sent from the spiritual realm, signs of warning from me, from the unseen yet deeply real dimension. They are the sounding of an alarm, reminding you that something unusual is stirring within the very place you call home. Those sensations, those fleeting moments, are stirrings from the spiritual world, where I am trying to awaken you before it is too late. You may have brushed them aside, shaken your head, and returned to your daily routine. But your soul still took note. It still listened, and it rang out with chimes your heart was not yet still enough to understand. I do not say this to instill fear, but to awaken awareness. You need to understand that this world is not limited to what the eyes can see. There are spiritual currents flowing all around you. There are invisible battles unfolding, and you are the one I've positioned at the heart of the battlefield to be protected. And within your very home, the place you believe to be your safest refuge, signs of disturbance have begun to appear. Not everything is as it seems. Some things have entered without knocking. Some presences have settled without permission, and they are leaving their marks in the atmosphere, in your emotions, in your restless sleep, and in the silent moments that tighten your chest. When I send you warnings, I do not do so in wrath, but in deep love. I do not leave you to bear that unsettling silence alone, but I need you to listen. I need you to quiet every distraction so you can recognize this truth. You are living in a place that has been tainted, not because you are evil, not because you intentionally allowed darkness in, but because the enemy is always seeking to slip through the smallest cracks. Cracks formed by weariness and indifference. They do not come by violent force, but through familiarity, through spiritual numbness, through the moments when you delay prayer, when you stop reading my word, when you choose silence over confrontation with truth. Every unexplained sound, every sudden chill, every sense of being watched, they are echoes from the spiritual realm. I am letting you know that it is time to act. It is time to stop dismissing these signs. They are the doors I am opening so you may see more clearly, so you may no longer be blinded by the false piece of walls that have already begun to crack. For if I do not wake you, you will continue to live in deception, believing everything is fine while the very roots of your peace have already been compromised. Do you remember the times you woke up in the middle of the night, not because of noise, not because of a dream, but because of a strange feeling within your spirit? That was me calling you, gently shaking you awake so you could perceive, so you would not sleep through the spiritual battle that is intensifying within your dwelling, the unrest you cannot explain, the dreams that leave you drained, the small tensions within your family that suddenly become sharp. These are all symptoms of an unfamiliar presence that is slowly claiming space. I am calling you to rise, not to be afraid, but to take action. You need to anoint your home again. You need to open your mouth and declare that this place belongs to me. You must pray not only for yourself, but for every room, every corner, every door. You must cleanse the spiritual atmosphere of your home with my word, with faith, and with holiness. There can be no room for ambiguity. There is no space for anything but my presence. You have been called to be the guardian of the spiritual gateway of your own home. And it is your spiritual sensitivity that will determine who is permitted to enter and who must be sent away. The warnings you sense are not meant to cause you to shrink back in fear, but to rise as a warrior, strong and discerning, unmoved by the calm appearance of things. You are not alone in this. I will fight alongside you. I will show you exactly what needs to be done, what must be removed, what items require purification, what thoughts must be renewed. I will not let you grope in the darkness. My light is going before you, illuminating each step of your spiritual path, so you may walk with unwavering confidence. My beloved, know this: the unease you've been feeling is not weakness. It is a sign that your spirit is still alive, still attuned to me, and that is where deliverance begins. Do not close your heart. Do not deny what you are sensing in the deepest parts of your soul. Let me confirm what you've only suspected. Let me come and restore divine order. Let me be the only one who reigns within your home. My precious child, all this time I have stationed my angels around you, surrounding your dwelling with protection from the heights of heaven. These silent sentinels have intercepted poisoned arrows of darkness and shielded you from countless covert plans designed to infiltrate your living space, strategies cloaked in subtlety, creeping in quietly to disturb the peace I have given you. Though you have not seen it, that circle of protection has remained, hour by hour, moment by moment, guarding you with an unceasing love. Though your eyes have yet to perceive the invisible realm, my protection has never once left your side. However, my child, I cannot allow this covering to make you passive or spiritually drowsy. There are things, though my angels have blocked their full entry, whose roots, whose origins still remain within the very place you dwell. They have not come to destroy in obvious ways, but to silently claim ground in the corners of your mind, in habitual routines, in every small doorway left open through carelessness. And now, the time has come, the time for your eyes to be opened. I can no longer allow you to walk in darkness, or let your soul be led by confusion. My light does not come to comfort you in a lie, but to expose the truth you must face. Even if that truth momentarily leaves you stunned, you must now see clearly what has taken place. You must discern who has entered your spiritual space, not just with their physical presence, but with their influence, with their intentions, with the authority you may have unknowingly granted. There are people, relationships, and behaviors that seem harmless on the surface, yet carry deeper effects than the natural eye can detect. They entered your life quietly, without disruption, without destruction, but little by little, they crossed the threshold I established to protect you, and because you did not recognize them from the beginning, they have begun to spread their influence, making way for what does not belong to me to take root. My child, I do not condemn you for this. I know you did not mean to allow it. I understand your heart is tender and loving, quick to trust, quick to open the door. But it is precisely because I love you that I must tell you, the time has come when you can no longer live in ambiguity. It is time to draw a clear line between what belongs to me and what does not. Your threshold, both physical and spiritual, was once a sacred boundary that I upheld, but when you began to loosen your vigilance, when you let emotion lead you instead of my spirit, the stranger found a way in. They do not need your explicit consent, just a single moment of compromise, a seemingly harmless invitation, a gift that did not come from my prompting, a person who entered your home without carrying my light. And in that moment, the seeds began to take root. You sensed the atmosphere in your home shift, though you couldn't quite explain why. Conversations grew heavier, sleep became restless, peace seemed to slowly drain away, but you reasoned it away with human logic. Fatigue, stress, the weather. What you didn't know was that a spiritual door had been opened, and darkness had begun to seep in like a thin mist, subtle yet swiftly spreading. And so, today, I come to draw the line. I come to open your eyes, not only to see the consequences, but to discern the source. You must clearly recognize who crossed your threshold without being sent by me. You must identify the influences that have clung to you and discern what they carry. You must recognize the signs I have sent: restlessness, oppression, those strange feelings you once dismissed. No, they were not coincidences. They were my interventions. My gentle yet urgent knock, calling you to pause, to examine everything. You must rise and declare my ownership over your home once more. Not just the physical space where you live, but every place you inhabit. Your body, your mind, your emotions, and your relationships. Declare boldly and without hesitation that nothing may cross your threshold without the approval of my spirit. Offer up every room, every corner, every memory, every dream to me again. Anoint your doors, cleanse the spiritual atmosphere with sincere prayer. For only in the places where my sovereignty is reestablished will darkness be driven out forever. I know this truth is not easy to face. It causes you to re-examine what you once trusted, once loved, once opened your heart to. But I promise you this, the truth will not destroy you. It will set you free. It will bring you back to the land I prepared for you, where peace is not a fleeting feeling, but a firm and lasting reality. I do not only want to protect you from evil, I want to make you a guardian, one who discerns, one who stands in authority, one who chooses holiness over compromise. Do not be afraid, my child. Do not be ashamed when I open your eyes, for what I reveal is not to condemn but to heal, not to expose you in guilt but to restore you in grace. You do not fight alone. My angels are still there, still watching over, still ready to fight for you. As long as you align with me, open your heart and step into the light again. Let me cleanse your home from the outside in, from the physical to the spiritual. Let me once again take lordship over that space. Because when your eyes are opened, you will see the difference between what I give and what the darkness disguises. You will know the true peace that comes from me. You will recognize an atmosphere anointed with my presence, and you will understand what it means to have a home not only guarded by my angels on the outside, but freely inhabited by them on the inside, unhindered, welcome. That is what I desire for you, for your family, for your generations. And that is why I cannot allow you to walk in confusion one more day. Now, let truth lead you. Let my light search every hidden place, and when you see clearly, act. For the sake of your freedom, for the peace of your home, and for the great calling I placed upon you from the beginning of creation. You are not merely one who lives in a house. You are the guardian of the sacred gate of a space that belongs to me, and today your eyes will be open to walk fully in that role, with holiness, with power, and with the unshakable love of the one who chose you. Now, my beloved child, you no longer have the luxury of choosing to ignore this word. This is no longer a time for hesitation, for justification, or for continuing to mask the truth beneath a facade of false peace. The words I speak to you today carry the weight of a divine message, not merely a gentle reminder, but a solemn and urgent call, echoing from eternity. And you cannot disregard it without facing the consequences. If you persist in choosing to remain in the land of spiritual blindness, if you continue to shut your eyes to the signs I have sent, if you stay silent while I am speaking, then you are unwittingly opening the door for what has been foretold to begin unfolding in a way you do not desire. It is not I who bring calamity upon you, but your silence and delay will unintentionally trigger a series of consequences that the enemy has long been scheming in the shadows. What I am revealing now is a sacred opportunity for you to perceive the truth before it hardens into an irreversible reality. My child, the truth is this: someone within your inner circle, someone close to you, someone with deep access to your life and your emotions, has played a significant role in opening the door to something foreign entering your life. This person did not arrive as a threat, nor did they knock with loud warning. They slipped in quietly, cloaked in familiarity and trust, and through the intimacy you extended, they became a channel for influences that do not come from me. Perhaps they did not intend harm. Perhaps they were unaware of what they were doing. But the truth remains. Someone has contributed to the breach in your spiritual covering. This person is familiar enough to move freely in your presence without raising alarm. They know you well enough to speak words that capture your attention. They have stood with you in critical moments, spoken words that seem to comfort, but beneath the surface, something impure has begun to take root. I do not bring this matter into the light to make you suspicious of everyone around you, but I need you to understand. Not everyone who draws near to you carries light. Not every form of intimacy is birthed from me. There are relationships not born of divine leading, but orchestrated coincidences, manipulated by darkness. And they are being used as tools to hinder your journey. It is time for you to become discerning about who you allow to enter the soul space of your being, the innermost place of who you are, the sacred ground where only I should dwell. The people you allow into your mind, your heart, and your private space carry more influence than you realize. If you do not reevaluate, if you do not heed the voice of the Holy Spirit, you will continue to permit things not of me to walk freely in your life, disguised as kinship, compassion, or familiarity. I know this exposure will break your heart. I know you may feel betrayed, disoriented, and lost. But remember this: I never reveal anything unless it serves the purpose of liberation and healing. I do not draw back the veil to hurt you, but to restore you. For though the truth may cause tears, it is that very truth that will wash your eyes clean, so you may see clearly what is truly unfolding around you. You cannot wage war against darkness while protecting the very things that nourish it. You cannot reclaim peace while clinging to ties that have unknowingly opened the door to unrest. And I cannot move fully on your behalf if you continue to choose silence. Continue to look away from the truth I am placing before your eyes. Remember, you are not called to live in suspicion, but neither are you called to live in spiritual naivety. You must learn to discern, not through emotion, but through the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Those who are truly sent by me will bring peace, light, and life. But those who are not, no matter how sweet their words, no matter how trustworthy their appearance, will eventually reveal the cost of their presence in your life. And today, I am pulling back that curtain, so you may see clearly now, before delay demands its price. My child, pray. Seek me with sincerity. Ask me who it is that is stepping outside of my will for your life. Let me reveal to you what you cannot perceive on your own. And when I show you who it is, when I unveil their actions, their influence, and the consequences that follow, you must be ready to do what is necessary. No matter how deeply attached you are, no matter how much you care, you must choose me above every other connection, for I alone know what is truly good for you. I love you enough to remove what does not bring life, and I desire that you love yourself enough to obey when I call you to step away from entanglement. Allow me to cleanse the ground on which you stand. Let me sweep away the spiritual atmosphere that has been polluted by strange influences, and let me restore holiness to your living space, in your home, in your mind, and in your relationships, because you are my temple. You are the dwelling place where I long to reside fully, without division. I do not share sacred space with darkness. And so today I come not only to warn, but to act. Rise up now, do not delay, do not make excuses, do not cling to what I am asking you to release. For ahead of you is true freedom, light, and a new land that has been prepared for you to enter. But that door will only open when your hands are free from what binds you. I have shown you. Now the decision is yours. Choose light, choose truth, choose me, the one who loves you with an unchanging love, and the only one who can lead your soul to a place of true rest. The time has come when I, the one who has been with you through both darkness and light, the one who sees all that is hidden, will unveil and make known the identity of the one who has sown disorder into your life. And when I expose this before your eyes, when I show you clearly and without question who it is that brought the disturbance, who served as the open door for darkness to enter, you must not doubt, you must not hesitate, you must not ask, could this truly be? For I am the God of truth. Everything I reveal carries the purpose of leading you into healing and restoration. Do not let your limited reasoning challenge what I have already confirmed in the Spirit. Do not allow misplaced kindness, undiscerning mercy, or emotional attachment to keep you from receiving the truth. Because if you reject the truth I am showing you, if you let regret obscure the light I am shining, you will remain trapped in the cycle of chaos, and you will miss the chance to step into the new season I have prepared for you. A season where light reigns and peace is firmly restored. Have you wondered why everything seems to have gone off course? Why the good plans you once held close keep getting interrupted and falling apart without clear reason? Why, despite your efforts, your prayers, your upright actions, your mind still feels clouded, your joy seems stolen, and your soul remains weary? Let me tell you the truth. This is not random. It is not some accidental trial. It is the consequence of a presence that has taken root for far too long in your life. A presence that does not come from me. There is a deeper reason behind every delay you have faced, a hidden cause behind every closed door, every missed opportunity, every unexplained confusion. There is a spiritual connection between that person's presence and the storms within your soul. When they entered your life, something began to shift, but not in the direction of my leading. Your steps slowed, your vision blurred, and your spiritual sensitivity was dulled by sweet-sounding words lacking truth, by intimacy that lacked holiness. You did not realize it, for darkness never enters with force. It comes cloaked in false gentleness, in familiarity, in things that seem right, but little by little, it draws you away from the heavenly purpose. It does not shatter you instantly. Rather, it erodes you slowly, in indifference, in small concessions, in the moments you remained silent when you were meant to speak, in the times you let superficial peace silence the call of the Holy Spirit. Do you see it now? How many times have you felt lost without knowing why? How many times have you felt weakened in your faith, even while continuing to do all the right things? How many times have you searched for peace, only to find a lingering unrest? None of these are coincidences. Chaos does not arise by itself. It enters through a door that was opened not by me, but through a silent compromise between you and the one I am about to reveal. And so when I unveil that person's identity, when I call out that connection by name, you must be ready to sever it, even if it pains you, even if it means parting from what once felt so familiar. For I do not expose to condemn, but to heal. I do not reveal to frighten you, but to set you free. I do not show you these things to cause you loss, but because I want you to recover all that has been stolen, your peace, your clarity, your stability, and your true joy in me. You must be courageous, my beloved. I know your heart is tender. I know you cherish those you love. I know you try to see the good in others, but kindness cannot be built on blindness. Mercy cannot coexist with the neglect of truth. You may have compassion, you may forgive, but you must still stand firmly against what is wrong. If you do not, you will prolong the cycle of destruction you are trying so desperately to escape. You will remain entangled in the chaos I am striving to rescue you from. Do not fear what I will show you. Do not shrink back from the fierce light of truth. It may overwhelm you at first, but then you will feel relief. The burden will lift. Your eyes will open wide, your heart will be stilled, and your soul will return to its place of safety beneath my wings. I am cleansing your living space, both outward and inward, and that cleansing begins by looking directly into the truth. Remember this, my child. I love you with an unfailing love. That love never turns a blind eye to what harms you. That love will do whatever it takes to protect your soul, even if it means removing something you've grown used to, but which is not truly good for you. This is why I speak to you today with such urgency. So be ready, open your heart, step out of the worn-out comfort zone, receive the revelation I am about to give, not with doubt, not with resistance, not with delay. Let the truth set you free, and let me lead you into a new place. A place where darkness no longer hides, where peace is no longer disturbed, where you will walk in greater clarity and strength than ever before. And when you enter that place, you will know, this is what I have long prepared for you. This is true freedom. This is the fullness of life you once longed for. And now, it awaits you. All you have to do is take hold of it, with faith and complete obedience. My beloved child, it is no coincidence that you often feel something is amiss, even when everything on the surface appears calm. It is not by chance that there are moments when you fall silent, your heart weighed down by an unnameable heaviness, as if an invisible hand is stirring the waters of your spirit. That is not an illusion. It is the gift I have placed within you, a divine awareness, a heavenly discernment that transcends the limits of reason and physical sight. It is the ability to sense what no one else sees, to hear the whisper of the Holy Spirit amid the thousands of voices in the world. You do not need anyone to validate those feelings. You do not need visible evidence to prove that your soul is sounding an alarm. For I myself am the one who sowed this spiritual sensitivity into your heart, like a lamp shining in the night, like a compass that always points to truth. Trust what you feel within, for that is my voice echoing from the deepest places inside you. Trust that inner knowing, for it does not come from learning or logic, but from a divine impartation. Believe that I am the one speaking to you now, stirring your heart, opening your eyes, calling you to act with courage and wisdom from above. You are not alone in this awareness, and I have not allowed you to walk through the darkness without carrying the light of wisdom. I have not shown you the truth only to leave you in confusion. No. I am the one who leads, and every step I guide you to take is designed to bring you into complete freedom. So follow that prompting. Do not hesitate, do not doubt, and do not bury the voice within simply because it doesn't align with what you wanted to hear. For the truth, though painful at first, will open the door to a new season of purity, clarity, and peace unlike anything you have ever known. The one who caused all this chaos, the one who laid traps and sowed confusion, who manipulated and exploited your trust, will not remain hidden much longer. I am the one who sees all things, both hidden and exposed. I search the depths of every heart, and no shadow can conceal what has taken place from my eyes. This person acted as if they could hide forever, as if their pretense could outwit the wisdom from above. They believed that with enough finesse, cloaked in subtle deception, they could escape detection. But they were wrong. For even now, I, the God of truth, am bringing what was hidden into the open. I am shaking every stone to reveal what has been buried beneath. I am causing the things concealed in darkness to tremble before the approaching light. The lies that once seemed unbreakable will begin to crack. The acts that were once hidden will be uncovered. The connections held by the influence of darkness will be severed. I will not allow deception to continue ruling in your life. I will not let the shadows keep gnawing at your soul day by day without being exposed and judged. They have made a fatal mistake, my beloved child. They underestimated the presence and power that is at work in your life. They looked at you with carnal eyes and assumed you were weak, easily wounded, easily swayed. They thought you were just a lonely soul, a lost sheep without a shepherd. But they did not know that I, the Creator, the Almighty, the ever-living One, dwell within you. They failed to see the divine covering I placed over you, even while you were in your mother's womb. They did not perceive the spiritual walls built around you, walls fortified by prayer, by faith, and by the blood of the Lamb. And now their time has come to an end. Their schemes, no matter how intricate they may have seemed, have reached their limit. They believed they could hold power, that they could continue setting traps, manipulating, and sowing confusion. But what they failed to realize is that I have been quietly observing their every move, each word cloaked in counterfeit wisdom, each action veiled behind false righteousness. Nothing escapes my gaze. Nothing can remain hidden in darkness when my light begins to shine. I did not expose them immediately, not because I was unaware, but because I gave them time to repent. Yet now, as they persist in rejecting their final opportunity, I, the righteous one, will act. I will cause their true nature to reveal itself through their own actions, their own words, and their own consequences. Truth does not need to be defended through argument. It will rise on its own, radiant and undeniable. And you, my beloved child, you will begin to see. In the moments to come, you will recognize the signs, things that have long been present in your life, yet you never truly noticed, not because you were blind, but because the time had not yet come for you to see. But now I am opening your eyes in a new way. I am lifting the thin veil that once clouded your vision, so that you may see not only the surface, but the very root of things. You will begin to discern what is truly happening behind sweet-sounding words. You will see clearly the actions that do not align with true intent. You will start to recognize a strange presence that once slipped quietly into your space, like a thin mist, toxic yet subtle. Let your heart be awakened. Let the eyes of your spirit be fully opened. Do not hastily reject what I reveal to you simply because it unsettles you, for it is precisely within that truth that your freedom is drawing near. Watch carefully. Do not let the smallest detail escape your notice. The signs will not arrive with thunder or fire, but in the gentle movement of the Holy Spirit. There will be words that suddenly resound within your heart, like echoes from eternity. There will be actions you once saw as ordinary that now stir unease within you, because the Spirit within you is saying, "Pay attention. I will do nothing without first revealing it. I am the one who loves you, and I will never allow you to walk in obscurity if you are willing to listen." The discernment I have given you will become sharp, like a double-edged sword. Nothing will escape its cut. No deception will be able to withstand that light. What was once expertly concealed will begin to show its true form. Layers of masks will fall away. Relationships that once appeared healthy will be exposed for the motives hidden beneath them. And when that happens, you will doubt no more. You will know with clarity, not from reasoning, but from a divine conviction that comes from above, from me. When you see I need you to respond with immediate obedience, do not try to reinterpret it. Do not make excuses for what I have already revealed. For any delay will only prolong the spiral of destruction within your spirit. I have not come to make you distrust everything, but I have come to show you the one thing that must be removed, the one thing that is blocking the spiritual flow, distorting my guidance, and keeping you trapped in confusion you cannot explain. You will notice your dreams begin to shift. Images that were once blurry will now become clear. You will hear phrases echo in your memory and suddenly realize they carry an entirely different meaning. You will feel a heaviness during conversations that once seemed harmless, and above all, you will know what comes from me and what comes to steal, kill, and destroy. This is the sign of divine illumination, and it is coming to you like dawn after a long night. I want you to prepare your heart, for when the light comes, you will not only see others, you will see yourself. You will see what you have permitted, the times you ignored the warnings, and the places where you let down your guard. But do not be ashamed. Do not drown in self-condemnation. What I am doing is not to accuse you, but to cleanse you. I am helping you become stronger, clearer in vision, and more steadfast in your steps for the season ahead. That one and the entire system of darkness to which it is connected will have to answer to my light. The respect, the trust, and even the compassion you placed in the wrong hands will be reclaimed by me and renewed in a new setting, a place where holiness reigns and where there is no room for hypocrisy. Prepare your heart, for what you are about to see may shake you, but it is necessary, for only then will you truly be free. Masks will fall, veils will be pulled back, and the truth, though it may cost you, will become the very path that leads you into full restoration. Do not be disoriented when the truth is exposed. Do not be afraid when what you once clung to is taken from your hands. For if it does not belong to me, it is not worthy of being held by you. I never remove something without providing something better, deeper, stronger, and more enduring in its place. I never allow loss without a greater gift waiting in the wings. But you must release before you can receive. You must be willing for me to clear out the silent clutter that has accumulated in your soul, so I can rebuild upon a foundation of truth, of light, and of genuine love. My beloved, this is a serious hour. This is not merely a minor adjustment. This is a pivotal transformation. I am repositioning your life, pulling you out of the shadows and placing you into the place I intended for you from the very beginning, a place of influence, of spiritual authority, of clarity, and of unshakable faith. But you cannot enter the promised land while still carrying the influence of the one who sowed seeds of destruction in your field. There can be no complete resurrection where remnants of rebellion still remain uncut. So let me move. Trust the discernment I have placed within your spirit. Do not silence the voice inside with logic or fear. Do not shut the door to wisdom just because it opens onto a path that looks unfamiliar. I do not require you to understand everything. I only ask you to trust me. Trust that I am for you. Trust that I know what is best. Trust that I would never take you through fire without preparing refreshing waters on the other side. Be steadfast. Be honest with yourself. Let my light reach into every hidden corner, those places you've kept concealed not only from others but even from yourself. Do not cling to what suffocates your spirit just because it once felt familiar. I have not called you to live in the realm of the familiar. I have called you to live in the realm of the anointed. You are not destined to be a servant of hidden darkness, but a bearer of light, a voice for truth, and a vessel through which my glory can be revealed with clarity. You are not fragile. You are not some small figure tossed by the winds of life. You are not a hopeless soul caught in the whirlpool of trials. You are not as alone as you've felt during the long, restless nights. You are not lacking the strength to face what is coming. No, you are stronger than you think. For my hand is resting on your shoulder, firm, gentle, and unwavering. It is my presence that surrounds you in every moment. It is my voice that guides you through the paths that seem uncertain. It is my spirit that is alive, breathing, and moving within you, like a fire that never dies, like a living breath that is reviving every part of you that once felt faded or lost. You will overcome, not by your own strength, but by the power that flows from me. It is not your unshakable stance that ensures victory, but my unwavering faithfulness. You do not need to know every step ahead, for I am the one guiding your every move, whether you walk through the densest darkness or stand in the brilliance of the rising dawn. Even when you feel tired, even when your heart trembles, none of that changes the truth. You are anointed, you are called, and you are being equipped from heaven for this very moment in time. There will be resistance. Waves will rise against you from all directions, from the outside, and sometimes even from within. You will encounter slander, whispers, and doubtful stares. Voices lurking in the shadows will attempt to make you second-guess yourself, to blur the clarity you've just received, and to plant seeds of confusion disguised as harmless thoughts. They will try to make you question what I have spoken, to doubt the discernment I've placed in your spirit. They will use your own emotions as a weapon, persuading you to believe things like, maybe I was wrong, maybe I've misjudged, or maybe it was just my imagination. But my child, do not allow those voices to drown out mine. Do not let ambiguity obscure the light I have revealed to you. Do not interpret the enemy's silence as my absence. I am right here, not watching from a distance, but standing beside you. I am fighting alongside you, whispering words of life into your ears. Know this: the silence of heaven does not mean I am not near. Sometimes I am quiet, not because I have left you, but because I want you to learn to trust in what I've already spoken, rather than seek constant affirmation from others. There will be times when the weight you carry feels too heavy, and you may fall, not because your faith has failed, but because the burden of the day is simply more than your body can bear. But even in those moments, I do not abandon you. I do not turn my face away. On the contrary, it is in those very moments that I stoop down with compassion, lifting you with arms full of grace, wiping away your tears with a gentleness that needs no words, and whispering into your spirit, "You are still mine. You are still on the right path. Don't give up." So stand firm, my beloved. Do not let temporary shakings lead you to forsake the journey that carries eternal purpose. Let your roots grow deep, not into the shifting opinions of others or the ever-changing winds of emotion, but into the solid ground of what I have promised. My words will not fade, even if the heavens and the earth pass away. I have begun a good work within you, and I will bring it to completion with glory and purpose, so long as you continue walking with trust, even if your steps are trembling, even if your strength is waning, as long as you refuse to turn back, as long as your heart is still set toward the light. I will renew your strength. You will rise again, like an eagle soaring on the heights of the heavens. You will not fall, even when the enemy seeks to wear you down, even when they lie in wait to rejoice at your weakness. I declare this to you: you will not be defeated, for I am your strength. I am your shield. I am your unshakable stronghold. Truth will be the foundation on which you stand, and righteousness will be the sword in your hand. Do not lay down your sword. Do not give up the fight. For victory does not belong to the strongest, but to the one who does not give up. And you are that one, the one I have chosen, anointed and called by name. You will rise, not as one barely surviving after a battle, but as a warrior who receives renewed strength from heaven. I will clothe you in the armor of light. I will give you feet as steady as the deer's, so that you may tread over rugged terrain without stumbling. You will not only rise, you will walk with authority, with your head held high, not in pride, but because you know who is with you. You know to whom you belong. You know you have been redeemed by the eternal and almighty one. You will walk in truth, not in the kind of truth that is accepted by men, but in the unchanging eternal truth that flows from my throne. That truth will light your path even when the world is cloaked in darkness. That truth will cause all deception to tremble before you. That truth will unlock doors that have long been shut, and it will break the chains that have bound you. As you walk in truth, you will not only be delivered, you will become an instrument of deliverance for others. You will breathe life into those who seemed beyond hope. You will become a breeze of hope in a land grown dry and desolate. And then you will be free. Not merely an outward freedom, but a liberation from the very depths of your being. A freedom no one can take from you. A freedom that makes you no longer live for the approval of others, no longer manipulated by emotions, no longer held hostage by fear. It is a freedom that lets you sing in the darkest night, a freedom that allows you to walk lightly, even in the heart of the storm. A freedom that empowers you to become the fullness of who I created you to be. And when that dark power, that force which secretly manipulated your mind, emotions, and soul, is completely broken under my authority, something magnificent will unfold in your life. No longer will it be a fleeting moment or a minor tremor of change, but a profound and total transformation from the inside out. This change will not merely be about escaping invisible chains. It will be a complete restoration, a holy reconstruction carried out by my own hand, piece by piece. There will be a lifting, not by your own striving, but by my hand lifting you from the ashes and placing you on higher ground. You will feel an unexplainable support, like a holy wind sweeping you out of spiritual stagnation, out of the muddy places you once trod. You will no longer drag your weary feet under your own strength, but walk with the lightness of a soul set free, a mind renewed, and a heart unburdened from the things you never even knew you carried. Because you have carried that burden unconsciously, like a layer of dust clinging to your cloak on rainy days. You did not realize that certain things had followed you like a shadow, negative thoughts, doubtful emotions, vague worries, and persistent insecurities. They did not come upon you like a storm, but seeped in like water that erodes stone, weighing down your spirit day by day. You didn't even know what you were carrying, only that you felt weary. You felt a heaviness in your spirit that had no explanation. You noticed your sleep was no longer peaceful, your prayers no longer deep, and the clarity of your mind seemed to have drifted away. But I saw it all. I never took my eyes off of you, even in the moments when you no longer had the strength to call my name. I quietly watched every step you took, every sigh you swallowed, and every moment you felt so worn down that you thought you might disappear into apathy. And because I love you, I prepared this deliverance, not merely to resolve a single issue, but to bring you fully out of the silent darkness that had latched onto your soul. That influence is about to be broken, and when it collapses, you will feel as though a weight has been lifted, one you didn't even know you were carrying. You will find yourself breathing more deeply, thinking more clearly, walking more firmly. Your spiritual vision will be restored. The things that once confused you will become clear. The decisions that once felt like burdens will become convictions. The words I spoke, once drowned beneath the noise of deception, will ring out like a bell that awakens the soul. You will become stronger. Not the kind of strength that merely keeps you from falling, but a strength that rises from within, from the place where my spirit dwells in you. That strength will allow you not only to stand firm, but to walk forward with authority. You will no longer be afraid of the voices that once made you hesitate. You will no longer wander through the land of uncertainty. Instead, you will know exactly who you are, to whom you belong, and what you have been called to do. This strength will not be loud, but it will be deep. It will not be boastful, but it will be unshakable. And do you know something, my beloved child? That door, the one that once slammed shut in your face, the one that made you weep quietly in the long nights, the one that led you to ask, why, will finally open. But this time, not because you forced it, not because you begged in desperation, but because I, the one who holds the eternal key, will open it for you. When the influence of darkness is removed, nothing will hinder my movement in your life. What I have promised will be unveiled. The gates of blessing will open of their own accord. The paths, once hidden, will appear beneath the light of truth. My beloved, right now you are closer than ever before to the destiny I planned for you from the beginning. The things I wrote about you, before you were even formed in your mother's womb, they are waiting for you, just a few steps of faith ahead. And if you dare to move forward, if you keep walking toward the light, even with trembling legs and a heart still unsure, you will begin to see the very things you once longed for pouring down over your life like a waterfall from heaven. Powerful, refreshing, unceasing. Just a few more steps. Steps taken in faith, not by emotion, not by what is seen, but by absolute trust in me. And you will witness me opening doors you once thought had been permanently closed. You will hear the answers to the deepest questions of your heart. I will bring clarity to what was once vague. I will heal the wounds that time could never touch, for I do not offer temporary remedies. I heal from the root, from the deepest place within your soul. I will bring about the transformation you have prayed for, longed for, and waited for, not by human strength, but by power from heaven. For only I can bring life where there once appeared to be nothing but death. You once believed some things were beyond your reach. You watched others receive and quietly wondered, am I not worthy? But today I say to you, the very things you thought had passed you by, the blessings you assumed had slipped through your fingers, I am returning them to you, and this time you will not have to fight for them. You will not have to beg. I myself will place them into your hands. I will restore what was stolen. I will repay you double for all that you lost in faithfulness. What once felt foreign, out of place, or not meant for you, will now feel familiar, near, and within your grasp. For I am the one who turns impossibilities into reality, and I do this not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. I have seen the unshakable perseverance within you. I have seen you choose to remain faithful even when you felt nothing at all. I have seen you hold on to your trust even as the darkness surrounded you. I have seen you refuse to compromise, refuse to retreat, refuse to turn back. And I treasure that more than you can comprehend. Your faithful belief has moved heaven. Your prayers have been stored in golden bowls at my throne. Not a single tear you have shed has been in vain. Every one has been remembered, preserved, and now answered. My beloved child, you have walked through fire without being consumed. You have passed through deep waters without being swept away. You have been shaken, tested, and pressed, but never broken. You are living proof of my sustaining power. And because you have stood firm, now I will reward you, not with a small reward, but with an outpouring abundant and overflowing. I will fill the empty places in your soul, the quiet spaces you once thought no one could ever reach. I will rewrite the torn pages of your life, the ones interrupted, left unfinished, or marred by the hands of others. And the new story I write will be more beautiful than anything you ever dared to dream. You no longer need to strive to prove your worth. You no longer need to compare your journey to that of others. You will walk in true peace. No more torment. No more heaviness. No more carrying the weight of doubt. I will teach you how to live lightly in my presence. To live with the awareness that you are loved, chosen, and lifted up each day, not because of what you do, but because of who you are in me. Your destiny is not some vague, distant thing. It is a real calling, sealed by my own hand, and the time for it to unfold is drawing near. So hold fast to your faith. Keep walking forward. Do not stop because of criticism. Do not be discouraged by what you have not yet seen. For I am the faithful one, the one who began a good work in you, and I myself will complete it until it is fully formed in glory. Therefore, my child, open your heart wide. Let hope blaze again within you. Let your eyes look ahead with the eager joy of a child running into their father's arms. Let every doubt fall away like an old garment. Let me, the one who kept you alive through the wilderness, now lead you into the promised land, overflowing with life, blessing, and fullness. You have come so far. You are no longer at the beginning. Now is the time to step in. No more hesitation, no more fear. Your destiny is calling your name. And I am waiting for you ahead, with arms wide open. My beloved child, have you noticed? The people around you, even if they don't say it out loud, even if they cannot name what they're sensing, they can feel that there is something different about you. They sense my presence in every word you speak, in every glance, in even the smallest of your actions. They perceive a light that doesn't come from this world, a kind of peace that defies logic. This is not a coincidence. It is my reflection within you. It is the result of the time you've spent with me in the darkness, the silent battles you've fought, the times you've fallen and risen again by faith. That process has formed within you a spiritual beauty that cannot be replicated, a quiet radiance that causes even the unconscious soul to take notice. They see something in you they cannot explain, something that draws them in, yet also unsettles them. They see the peace they've always longed for but could never quite reach. They see in you a steadfastness while the world trembles, a calm when all else is in chaos, a faith that enables you to smile even in trial. And it stirs their curiosity, but at the same time, that very thing causes them to keep their distance, because light, at times, can be frightening, especially to those who have grown too accustomed to the dark. You see, I am not only at work in your life. My love is not reserved for just one person. I have placed my hand upon them as well. I have called their names, extended my arms to welcome them back into my embrace. I have poured my love into their lives, given them opportunities, opened doors of grace. The times they escaped danger, the moments of sudden stillness in their hearts, the unexpected encouragement they received despite not deserving it. Those weren't luck. Those were traces of me, the breath of my love, left behind on their path. I have spoken to them, reminded them, invited them into the light, but they turned away. They chose their own path, the one they believed to be better, easier, broader. They rejected the gentle call of the Holy Spirit, shut their ears to the warnings, and dismissed my guidance. Their hearts grew hard. They convinced themselves they were smart enough to steer their own lives, that they didn't need a higher being to intervene, and while I waited patiently, their hearts closed in. Their eyes grew dim, behind a veil of pride and doubt. Pride does not always manifest in loud arrogance. It can hide within an excessive self-reliance, in the denial of spiritual need, in the disregard for my presence. They attribute what happens in their lives to their own ability, to luck, to effort. And slowly they edge me out of the equation, yet I remain. I still love them. I still wait for their return. But I will not violate their freedom. I do not intrude upon human will, for true love cannot be forced. It is only complete when it is freely given. My heart aches when I see them drift away. It aches when the eyes that once knew me grow cold. It aches when they encounter my grace but do not treasure it. Still, I do not give up. I continue to seek them, to rearrange circumstances, to use your very life as a mirror, to remind them that I am real, that my love remains, that grace has not been closed off. So, my child, do not be discouraged when others fail to understand your journey. Do not grieve when they reject the light that is rising within you. Do not let their refusal cause you to doubt what I am doing, for it is in this very moment that the light within you becomes a living testimony, not through eloquent words, but through the sheer presence of your being. When you continue walking in obedience, when you respond not with arguments, but with love, with patience, with kindness, it is I who speak through you. They are watching. Even if they do not speak of it, even if they pretend not to notice, every step you take, every shift in your gaze, every evidence of true peace, it is stirring questions in them, awakening a silent wonder they have not yet dared to confront. Why is that person different? And that is when the seed is sown. Though the soil of their hearts may still be hardened, a day will come when what they see in you will serve as a divine reminder, calling them back. I do not love you more than them, but you have responded to my love, and for that reason you are walking in a season they are not yet able to comprehend. Be humble, be gentle, but also be unwavering. Do not lose your compassion. Do not cease to pray for them. Yet do not allow your faithfulness to be shaken by their indifference or mockery. For deep within, they do not hate you. They are simply being challenged by my presence in you, and that makes them uneasy. They do not yet understand, but the day will come when they will remember, and they will seek. I will continue to stir their hearts. I will use every means to reach them. But as for you, live in alignment with what I have entrusted to you. Hold firmly to the light you carry, for that light is not only for you, but it is also a beacon for the lost. Remember, people often do not realize they are thirsty until they see someone drinking. You are the one holding my cup of living water in a dry and weary land. And one day those who seem cold today will draw near and ask, "How did you find that peace?" And when that moment comes, you will not need to prepare a sermon. You will only need to share your story. For the truth within you will be the most powerful testimony to my unfailing love. Just be who you are, a child of light, a child of truth, one chosen to reveal me to the world, not through theory, but through a transformed life. And I will take care of the rest. My beloved child, come to me each day, not as a ritual, but as a sacred appointment between two hearts bound by eternal love. In that hidden place between you and me, there flows an unending stream of life, of healing, and of light. There you are refreshed not merely by words, but by my very presence, where you will hear my loving whisper in the stillness, where every worry melts away and every weariness is replaced by divine rest. Each day, do not let the burdens of life pull you away from that place of meeting. Return to the simplicity of faith. Return to the place where your soul connects to the divine wellspring of life. Let my voice from heaven be the first sound that echoes in your heart as the day begins, and the final word that lingers in your mind as night falls. Let the words I give you become the unshakable foundation for your every thought, the standard by which you discern right from wrong, the anchor that holds you steady when the storms of life arise. Do not let your mind wander into doubt. Do not walk blindly in uncertainty. Let my word be the spiritual compass that always points you toward the light. When you allow my message to become the center of your life, you will no longer be swayed by the voices of men, no longer confused by the noise of the world, nor will you seek assurance from fleeting things, for my word itself is the strength that holds you upright, the light that guides your steps through darkness, the bread of life that nourishes your soul without end. My child, open your heart. Hold nothing back from me. Do not fear that I will see the hidden places within you, for I already know every part of you. And still, I love you with a love that is complete and unwavering. Let me surround you like a cloak of gentle presence, like warmth in the chill of winter, like the arms of a father embracing his child after a long return home. Do not come to me with words alone. Come with your whole being, with a heart that trusts completely, with a longing that truly desires to draw near. When you open your heart, you will realize, I have never been distant. I have always been the Father who waits patiently, who yearns for you to come home to the safety of my embrace. Let your spirit rest in me, not because all your problems are solved, but because you know deep within that I am the one who holds every answer. True peace is not found in the absence of trials, but in the certainty that, in all things, you are never alone. My presence is the greatest assurance you could ever carry in this life, and when this truth takes root in you, you will no longer fear what tomorrow holds, nor be anxious about what remains unseen. You will know that the one who leads you is faithful, good, and never makes a mistake. My beloved child, learn to give thanks, even when nothing around you seems to change. Give thanks not because you already hold everything your heart desires, but because you trust that I am moving. This is faith. Not a faith built on circumstances, but one grounded in the eternal heart of the one who never changes. That kind of faith opens doors for me to move mightily in your life. When you raise a song of unwavering gratitude, you declare to the heavens, I trust you, Father, even when my eyes cannot see and my hands cannot touch. And that kind of trust shakes the heavens and moves the very depths of the spiritual realm to respond. The glorious blessings I have prepared for you are not delayed, nor have they been forgotten. They are drawing near, arriving in the perfect timing and rhythm of heaven. You do not need to worry about when they will come or how they will unfold, for what I have begun in you, I will surely complete. Nothing and no one can hinder what I have destined for your life, as long as you remain in me, as long as you hold on to your faith and continue walking step by step under my guidance. Even now, in this very moment, as you read these words, something is quietly forming within you. The great things I have planned for your life are not only coming from the outside, they are being carefully woven into your soul. Growth, endurance, holiness, wisdom, these are the treasures I am building within you. I am transforming you from the inside out, so that when the appointed time arrives, you will have the strength to carry all that I have prepared. Nothing within you is wasted. No moment is meaningless. Every experience, whether sweet or painful, is being used by my hand to shape a new creation within you. Someone stronger, deeper, and closer to me than ever before. And then, precisely at the time I have appointed, these things will be revealed. That which you have waited for will be made visible. The promises you have carried in your heart will be fulfilled. The dreams you thought had died will rise again with new life, richer, deeper, and filled with meaning. I never do anything halfway. When I give in full. When I open a door, no one can shut it. When I begin a work, no one can stop me. Hold my words close to your heart, trust in me, and never forget this one thing. I love you. Not just when you get everything right, not just when you are strong, not only when you seem perfect, but always, at all times, without change. My love does not waver with emotion or depend on your performance. It is the unshakable foundation upon which you can stand for your entire life. You may falter, you may fall, you may even question, but my love for you will never change. And so, my beloved child, come closer to me each day. Let your heart be the sanctuary where my presence resides. Let my love become the garment you put on every morning, the breath you draw into your lungs, and the light that guides each step you take. And you will come to know this truth. When you dwell in me, you will lack nothing. Every good and perfect gift I have prepared for you will find its way to you, not because you strive to take it, but because you walk in obedience and faith. Leave the rest to me, for you are my child. I have never stopped loving you, and I never will. Now come before me with your sincere prayer. Lord, you who see all things, even in the silence, I bow before you and ask that you would open my eyes. Open the eyes of my spirit so that I may see what is hidden, that I may discern every movement taking place in the space I dwell in. Do not allow me to remain in spiritual blindness, and do not let me ignore the signs that your Holy Spirit has already impressed upon my heart. Grant me sharp discernment, so I may never confuse darkness for light, nor mistake deception for truth. Father, lead me into the fullness of truth, and reveal all that needs to be brought into the light. Holy Spirit, breath of life, I ask you to saturate my home with your powerful and holy presence. Grant me the grace to distinguish between what is light and what is darkness, between what is true and what is false. Teach me to hear your voice clearly, even in the midst of counterfeit noise and distractions. You who search the depths of every heart, show me if anyone has entered and left behind unrighteous traces in this place. I do not desire to live in suspicion, but neither do I wish to be deceived. Lead me gently, but firmly, by your light. Lord, I call upon you to send forth your heavenly armies to surround and guard my home. Let every hidden corner, every room, and every door be under the watchful presence of your mighty angels, standing guard to block all forces that do not come from you. May every word once whispered in the shadows, every act performed outside the light, be swept away by the holy wind of your Spirit. I plead the blood of the Lamb over every wall and threshold. Cleanse this house, sanctify it, Establish your divine presence here as the one true authority and rightful king over this home. Father, in the authority you have granted me, I declare a complete severing of all lingering influences from the past, every hidden presence not from you that remains in this dwelling. I renounce every ungodly covenant, every cursed word ever spoken, every act that opened the door to darkness. In the name of Jesus, I close every gateway that was wrongly opened. I declare that this home is now a dwelling place of light, of peace, and of divine presence. No opposing force has any power here, for this house belongs to you. Lord, I thank you for not allowing me to remain in deception. Thank you for loving me enough to reveal the truth before it is too late. I ask you to guide me through this season of unveiling. Grant me peace as truth comes to the surface, and protect my heart from bitterness as those who have lived in hypocrisy are exposed. Teach me to walk with wisdom and to trust in your leading. I will not rely on my own judgment, but on the clarity of your divine revelation. Lord, I ask you to restore peace within my home. Let each room become a haven of holy rest. Remove every invisible pressure, every subtle unease that has taken root. Shift the atmosphere completely and bring ease and comfort to my soul. I welcome your presence to descend like the morning dew, like refining fire, like a gentle and steady stream. This home belongs to you, Lord, entirely and forever. Lord, I ask that you bestow upon me spiritual authority to stand firm against every force of darkness. Even now, I declare and exercise that authority within this very house. Everything that is not of you must retreat. All that is hidden must be brought into the light. Every cursed word spoken is now broken and rendered powerless. I speak words of life, of blessing, of divine creativity into this atmosphere. This place shall reflect the reality of your kingdom. I lift up this prayer in the holy and powerful name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of these meaningful, life-giving messages from God. Together, we will grow in faith and walk in the fullness of His love. Amen.